Hello, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon tutor. I'm your host, Josh, and today I got two guest co-hosts with me. I got Sage from Rated M for Immaturity there, and I got Austin CK. How's it going there, guys? Much appreciated. Thank you for stopping by, helping me with these reviews. Austin CK has been on the show before, helping out with some reviews. I think last time Austin CK was on, he was on helping us with a review for Devil May Cry, so he helped do that review there. So thank you to have him back. And then Sage is always on. Sage is a good regular here on these Monday shows. So good to have him back again. Our review of Alien Earth, which we did last Monday, that's going to be up pretty soon. And then also talking about Xbox, and then also talking about what was it, the review for his Metal Gear Solid Delta. That's also going to be up pretty soon there on YouTube, youtube.com. Just type that in and you will be able to find all those good reviews there. Awesome stuff there. So today's agenda has got a light show today. Nothing really huge there. Sage is going to be giving his review. He's played the Assassin's Creed Shadow DLC. He's going to give his thoughts on that. And then also Peacemaker Season 2. That's all done. That's all over with there. They just had their season finale there this past Thursday. So give our thoughts on that. Seems to be kind of divisive a little bit amongst some people there. Sage is waiting to do his review of Silent Hill F. He's gonna maybe play it through a couple more times before he gives his review of that. Gotta play it a couple times, get the full experience of it. Future streams Wednesday. I got a stream with Neil there. Neil and I are gonna be doing a review for Young Frankenstein there because the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein movie is in theaters this week, limited release there. So do that. Then Friday, hopefully Dusk can join me. Friday, got to do a review for Roofman, the Channing Tatum movie, and then also Black Phone 2. And that's what we got there. So yeah. Also, CK, let people know about you. What you got going on, what you got coming up, all that good stuff, man.
Not too much going on. Oh, there's a couple of things. I guess I forget. I did work on Carl the Collector. I think a bunch of new episodes of that came out today. A short I worked on, that's called Fundy. It's supposed to come out in the Austin Film Festival. Is coming out, I think, October 23rd. And yeah, I've just been looking for new work and, what's next. Been playing some good games. Been beat Doom the Dark Ages, and now it's just been Ghost of Yotai.
Okay, very good there. Yeah, and Sage is playing that on his stream, the good old Doom Dark Ages there. Did a review for it. How you liking it?
Oh, you're asking me or asking Sage?
Oh, I was asking you, yeah.
I liked it. I think I like it more than Eternal. I'm not sure if I like it more than the first one, but overall I liked it. I think there's just something really fun where you have a big army of monsters and you're just kind of fighting them with your crazy weapons. And I like the medieval setting, and I like all the new additions with like the shields and how that changes puzzles, and like your the melee weapons, and how they put that all together. It was always kind of the one thing that bothers me is maybe it's like an OCD thing where it's like they give you each weapon like two different kinds of weapons, and it's like, oh, so you have this one weapon, it's called like the chain shot or something, where it's like a ball on a chain, and you're like, oh, every other weapon has another weapon in that slot, but that one doesn't. And I think they made one and they just never implemented. So I'm like, oh, that's just weird. But besides that, like one tiny little grip, I overall really liked it. I like all the like parrying and dodging and like putting things back, and yeah.
Okay, very cool there. And if people want to follow you, this is your Instagram right here. So if you want to follow and check out, this is the show you work on, Carl the Collector there.
Well, worked on technically, so not working on it.
Yeah. But, so you got this. So you said some new episodes dropped there.
I think so. Yeah, today.
Okay. Nice.
And then just looking for new work, looking for the next thing.
Okay. Very cool there. And Carl the Collector, he's a raccoon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They do like you guys got an Indigenous people's episode for Carl the Collector or something?
No. I think this one was like a Halloween episode came out, and then there's one with God, what's it? They don't they have like a tablet. They don't really talk. They have like a tablet, and we actually got someone who isn't does that in real life, and they use their tablet, and that's how they're voicing it. It was kind of it's like a whole. It's a weird like, oh, we're trying to be authentic to it, but it was like, yeah, it is pretty nuts how we did it. So,
Okay, very
but
cool.
it was an interesting process. But
Okay, very nice there. The people wanted to follow you Instagram. There it is, right there, Austin. There. Make sure to put your stuff in the description below there.
mhm.
Sage, let people know about you, what you got going on, what you got coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I just got my system back set up. We're finally back at it. We're doing Doom the Dark Ages on the channel right now. Already did a review a few months back over on the Afternoon Tune. But yeah, we're running through it a second time. I think it's a super fun game. I think we're having a great time with it. And then my first book is coming out on Wednesday, which is pretty exciting. It's like keep changing my mind exactly how I want to describe the genre, but it's like a science fantasy paleo satire war story. I think that's as good of a genre description as I can get. But yeah, that's coming out. Yeah, Wednesday, physical versions, everything available day one. So that'll be pretty awesome.
Very cool there. And you don't have the link in your description yet?
Oh no, I haven't put it anywhere yet on anything else. I was planning on doing it all like on Wednesday when it.
Okay, great. So I'll make sure to put that in the description below when I upload the video there. Congrats to Sage there and Ulysses. Very awesome there. If you can't see them stream, they're usually typically streaming Tuesdays, Saturdays there on Twitch. You can check them out there on YouTube. Just type in youtube.com, type in rated M for immaturity. You'll be able to find them there. I was watching their Silent Hill 2 stream here, rewatching that again, watching all of it there. I did hear the spider jokes that happened during the last part of it, facing
as always
the creature there. But yeah, I just beat Silent Hill, so decided to go back and rewatch you guys stream of it. So very cool. This is you fighting Abstract Daddy there, fighting him. So
definitely one of the more unpleasant moments in that game.
Yeah. And you can see, yeah, he's playing New Game Plus there. He's got the dog helmet on, and he's got the chainsaw there, so that's available there. So yeah, that's what you got. And then, but there's already a different variety of games here: action games, horror games, adventure games here, puzzle games, RPGs there, all this type of different stuff, all over here. You got Alan Wake, you got RoboCop, you got Mortal Kombat, Dead Space. And for Halloween, for October, you're maybe gonna do a review for Dead Space 2. Do a review for that. So
yeah, pull out a classic.
Yeah, so yeah, got all types of different games all over here. Got the Hades, over here. Yeah, that playing.
I'm actually revisiting that a little bit right now because I never finished all the epilogue stuff, and the second one just came out. So
yeah, very cool there. Hey, how's it going there, Engine Plays? What's up, man? Thank you for stopping by. Engine Plays says that he has Alan Wake 2. Great game.
Nice.
Alan Wake.
Nice.
Alan Wake 2 there. And then yes, Sage has played Silent Hill F.
Yes, about 1.5 times as of right now.
1.5 times Sage has played Silent Hill F there. So there's that. So maybe you'll be ready for your review of Silent Hill F next Monday.
I think for sure next Monday.
Okay, I'll be ready for that. And then he says he hasn't beaten Dead Space 2 there. Okay. He said Silent Hill F reminds him of The Ring. Okay.
There's some J-horror conventions mixed in there. I don't know if it reminded me of The Ring specifically at any point, but there's certain tonal kind of vibe things I could maybe see.
Yeah, there's Japanese people, in The Ring. There's Japanese people in Silent Hill F. There's a character with black hair, and then she's got black hair. I mean,
they never do like the hair over the face sort of thing in it though. Like that like very kind of specific, like wet, long face or hair over the face. Nothing quite like that.
Yeah. So, that's two similarities right there. And there you go. Black hair, Japan. There you go. Then after this, we'll go ahead and rate somebody. If Engine Plays any suggestions, let me know. Or if Sage or Austin has suggestions, let me know there. Cosmopolitics and Movie Night Extravaganza, they're on right now. They're doing a review. It's a review channel. For the month of October, they're doing movies about witches. So they're reviewing that. I offered a suggestion. They threw out my suggestion. I offered them to do the Blair Witch Project sequel. but they didn't
Ooh,
want to
there you
review.
go.
Yeah, they didn't want to review that one.
They didn't want to explore the Book of Secrets.
No, they didn't. Shame. Hey, thought it would make for an interesting discussion. I guess they thought not. Geek Dom. Speaking of Silent Hill, Geek Dom 78. He's playing that Silent Hill F.
Oh, there you go.
So he's playing that. So good on him for that. And yeah, got some good people to raid after this. That Lucky Dog, Lucky Dog is on playing that Fortnite as always. Good playing that good old Fortnite there. All right. Yeah. So we'll get into this season 2. Give our thoughts on that, and then Sage's going to give his thoughts on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and that's it. Then we'll head out of here. Nothing really from the New York Comic-Con really there. All that
I
much.
looked and I didn't really see any huge announcements. There were a couple trailers that they showed to people there that would have been worth talking about if they'd been online, but I don't think any of them made their way up.
Yeah. Oh, you just reminded me. Forgot. There are the trailers for Wonder Man and that Game of Thrones spinoff.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So you just
Yes.
reminded me. You're gonna talk about that. So we'll do that after Peacemaker there. Okay. Let me pull up my notes for this, and we go ahead and get started on Peacemaker season 2. Very good there. It says, I think I saw the X-Men 97 season 2 trailer. Yeah, that also showed that they didn't release it. They just people recorded with their phones. I guess they gave up on trying to stop people from recording with their phones. I guess they're like, listen, it's a losing battle. Nothing we
Yeah.
can do.
I mean, they've been trying for how long, and it seems like it always happens.
Yeah. But awesome. Yeah, but this is exciting stuff. Daredevil season 2. I mean, Born Again season 2. I'm sorry, that trailer, and and I saw a little bit of that on Twitter and stuff, and X-Men 97 and all that stuff. But yeah, all right, okay. So, our first review of the day is going to be for Peacemaker season 2 there. Of course, this is the second season of the James Gunn DC series there, where you have John Cena. There he's playing the titular character. Christopher Smith, also known as Peacemaker there. And we did a mid-season review of this. So people can check that out online there on YouTube, youtube.com, The Afternoon Tune, where we did a whole mid-season review of it and our thoughts on it. And people can check that out. But a lot of people, were pretty much right about what was kind of going to go on in this season 2, the whole it being Earth X, and that being the alternate dimension there. But we're going to get into this. Is going to be a spoiler review for season 2. So if you have not seen it, come back and watch that, and then come back and watch the review if you so choose to. But what is going on? Just to give a quick recap there for people. With season 2 of Peacemaker. Well, Chris, in the whole 11th Street kids there, they're on hard times at the events of season 1. Basically blacklisted from all government agencies there due to what they did, exposing Argus, exposing Amanda Waller. It was Project Butterfly there and that whole experiment. So you have a lot of them that have basically been blacklisted and without jobs. Well, Economos, he's still good. He still got his job. He's still all right. But yeah, a lot of other people are struggling there, specifically Hardcore, who's really struggling there. Getting into bar fights every night, getting drunk every night. She's having a rough time. Then you also have it with Chris there, still trying to figure things out with Hardcore. There, who is played by Jennifer Holland. There, who's the wife of James Gunn there. And so they're still trying to figure that out. And Chris also has this device which allows him to travel through dimensions there, all these other different realities. Hey, how's it going there, Neil? What's up, man? He said he liked the character finale more than a plot one. But yeah, a lot of people will talk about this finale. A lot of people having issues with it. But yeah, he's has this device that allows him to go into these multiple dimensions there. One of them being a dimension where he sees other versions of his family, and he says, hey, I like this pretty much, and wants to stay there, which causes a rift with the team. And then they attempt to get him back there. Chaos ensues with that. But we're going to get into some more details with the season 2. But let's get your general initial impressions on it. Austin, what kind of your general impressions on this season 2?
I really like season 2 up until I think the last episode, and it's not because it was like, oh, I wanted like a million cameos of all this stuff. I was like, no. It just felt like an epilogue for something else, and it felt more like oh, we're gonna set stuff up rather than kind of finish off, you know, a character arc or connect to like the main plot, which has been like the other dimension that they've been going to this season, and just it just felt very odd. Like it was I think a good season overall and had some good character stuff, but it felt like either characters really didn't do much until the last couple episodes, or uh we were gonna be like, oh, we're gonna just focus on these things and not really focus on, like, he didn't really feel like he didn't really do too much Peacemaker stuff, even though he is called Peacemaker. It was more so him having more character moments than doing action, which is fine. It was just, a lot more. It just felt like it didn't really leave off on something that was satisfied. I didn't feel satisfied when I watched the end of the show compared to the first season, where I'm like, oh, you know what? I feel satisfied with how that show ends. If we don't get another season, I feel like we ended on a good note.
Mm, okay. What about you, Say?
I'm a little bit the opposite. I actually liked this season more than the first season, but at the same time, I get what people aren't happy with it about, and I think it is so character heavy and light on plot, but it does introduce this concept that feels like a big plot thing, and I honestly think they never had the intention of spending as much time on the plot of it as the character of it. But I can get in the headspace and see why that's not effective for a lot of people at the same time, even though it did work for me.
Mm. Yeah. It felt like in season 1 they were more working towards something as far as like overall like big goal there at the end of that. And a lot of this with season 2, James Gunn also said that this is going to directly play into Man of Tomorrow. And people were going like, well, how's it going to play into that? The Superman sequel there. So people are looking maybe for something bigger for that.
I still don't know how it is, and I'm like, I feel like I watched the show. It's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, that's such a weird thing where it's like the show is adult, and it's like Man of Tomorrow is like, I feel like you could show a kid his Superman, but I'm like, so does a kid need to know about this adult show where the first episode they got an orgy and a lot of swinging hammers to know? It's like, I don't know, totally kind of confusing, but we'll see.
Mm. Yeah. So I think part of it is kind of the dimension stuff there and being able to do that. And then especially at the end where they introduce this new dimension, the salvation dimension there. I think maybe that's part of it. But he responded to somebody who's because he's very active on threads, especially James Gunn. Very, very active over there. But yeah, so you have that, and I think maybe some people were expecting kind of a lot of that. Also, with this kind of season, you have Argus and them really trying to hunt down Chris and try to, arrest him and kind of get him up. And then who's heading that up is Rick Flag Senior, who's played by Frank Grillo, who we saw initially as a voice in Creature Commandos. And then he also showed up in in the Superman, the first Superman film there, James Gunn. I have an issue with a little bit of his character. We're going to get more into it as far as some people complain about his character direction. I agree with that as far as his whole arc this season and what his motivation was and what it kind of turned into. Did anybody have an issue with that there with Rick Flag Sr. and kind of his whole thing?
It felt consistent to me, but
Okay. Yeah.
A little bit. I kind of agree with you on that, where it's like, oh, he wants this. No, he wants this. Oh, this is his real overall goal. Oh, okay. It was just like, maybe he should have been clear like episodes earlier of what he wanted. But like by the end, I don't know. It felt sometimes it feels like if you watch this, Creature Commandos, and Superman, he feels like three distinct different characters in all of those. But that's just like a comparative thing.
Yeah. And what I mean is, so in Creature Commandos, he's teamed up. He's the leader of like this Suicide Squad S type team. And he's paired up with the bride from Frankenstein. And he's paired up with a fish woman and the Nazi killing robot and all this other crazy shit. So it seems like, okay, having that experience of being teamed up with those people, it's kind of giving him a softer outlook on metahumans and that, okay, these people can be good people. So that he carries that over into in the Superman movie there. But then at the end of it, I don't know, maybe he has a change of heart because he's like, this superhero, the most powerful metahuman ends up having the whole world kind of in his hands at that point, and it's like, oh well, we can't really do anything to stop metahumans if they really tried to take over the world, because you see them take out this whole army and everything like that. So maybe he has that realization. But in this, he changes up because it seems like at first he takes the job at Argus just to take down Chris, just to take down John Cena's character. And then towards the end of it, then all of a sudden he's obsessed with these portals. And when he finds out these dimension things and it can go everywhere, then he's all about doing these experiments with them and then teaming up with ex-Luthor henchmen who we see them also pop in there for what we saw in the Superman movie. It was, what's those two dudes' names again? The guy with the glass.
Henchman,
I forgot the names. Is it Arthur or something? Or
no.
I have no idea. It's the
black
guy.
I just remember Otis. I remember Otis, and then the guy with the mustache.
Yeah, Otis. Otis is the black guy. I don't know the guy with the glasses. He got the big ass glasses. I don't know what his name is, but
he just looks like a Flight of the Conchords reject. That's all I think.
Oh my god, that's so accurate.
So there's him, and it just seems like now he's all of a sudden obsessed with these portals and everything, and trying to find a prison for the metahumans. So I just didn't really understand that all much. You understand my point there with that, Sage?
I get it. For me, he feels consistent, and what I felt like I got out of Creature Commandos at the end was that this guy is one, has a complete one-track mind, and then two is maybe the most easily manipulable person in that show for sure. And so I got the sense that the whole point of his character in Creature Commandos was about going, yeah, he's really kind of a terrible person compared to his son. I walked away thinking like, yeah, this guy's not going to be good news in the future. So
okay. Was that some of your same issues there, Austin CK, with Rick?
I don't know. I guess maybe he was easily manipulated, but then this one it's like maybe he learned his lesson. Maybe it's like, nah, I guess he didn't learn his lesson. But it was just like it seemed like he cared about those people at this, like he cared about the Miss Bordeaux and the other people, and then he started just sending them into the alternate dimensions and not care. It's just that last episode, it feels very much like he doesn't really care about the people he was working with before, and now really only cares about the ex-Luthor people. I don't know. That's how I guess I read it, but it was just very odd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I think we all care about Sacha Baron there. I mean, I think we all do. But you mentioned the new characters. So we have some new characters, new additions to the season. You mentioned Sacha Baron, who is from the comics there. He's played by Sol Rodriguez. So she's a cyborg there, like a cyborg in terms of she's got cybernetic parts and everything like that. And then you also have Tim Meadows' character, who's a new character we see there, Langston Fleury. Who also comes on there, who has bird blindness, so he also some good bits there. What do you think about some of the newer additions there with the cast you had? Anybody could go there.
I liked Tim Meadows a lot. I mean, I don't think he's got some grand character arc or anything. I think he's mostly just comic relief. But I thought he worked as that. Sacha Baron, like I didn't dislike her, but I also don't know if I feel like the character did a whole lot, at least yet. I mean, it feels like a little bit of this character will be around in the future sort of thing. But I don't know that she got enough time to really for me to get to know her,
Okay. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, kind of on the same way. I loved, Tim Meadows, one of the best SNL cast members of all time. Always love seeing him and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's cool seeing him in this. There was a theory, I think, going around that he was like a Martian. Like people thought he might have been Martian Manhunter or like that species, which I'm like, that's weird casting, but I'd be interested. I'd be down for that. But, I liked him. Sacha Baron was kind of weird where she was like, oh, I want to get revenge on Christopher Smith. And then the last episode, she kind of has a change of heart that kind of comes out of nowhere. Where it's just like, hey, we're going through this really horrible thing. So, yeah, her kind of ending thing, I'm like, well, I felt like this maybe needed some more, like, she has doubts about Rick Flag Sr. and, like, their whole mission earlier. Like, there should have maybe been some more seeds of doubt planted a little earlier before she kind of has that character arc at the end and switches sides.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually she does switch there, and she joins up. We'll talk about that in the final episode. So I like the newer characters. I like Tim Meadows. He's a funny guy. Like you said, he's really great. People seen him on things like SNL, and when he's in sometimes some guest spots in movies and everything like that. Like I loved him in Dewey Cox. I loved him in that. When he's in
Popstar?
no, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were just naming more movies. He's in a lot of movies.
Oh, I forgot he was also in Popstar. Oh yeah,
he's Andy Samberg's agent.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh yeah,
I just remember that because he explains the whole 30 seconds to Mars joke, where it's like that's not how long it takes to get to Mars.
He's also in Mean Girls. He's really funny in that. So yeah, good guy. I think he works really well there. And pretty funny. I will say yes, Sasha, but as far as her character, as far as she doesn't seems like a whole lot to do there. And again, I think that's I mean, you got a lot going on already, and I think maybe get the shorter end of the stick in terms of that. But yeah, this seems to be more character focused this season about the relationship specifically between Chris and then Hardcore, and then him also struggling with, I guess, being a hero and what that means and everything like that. Do you feel like you got to know more about Chris? Is this a more fleshed out version of the character more than you saw in season 1 there, Austin? Or
I mean, I felt like we had a pretty good, understanding of him on season 1. I do like the stuff where it's like we got to see him and his brother, and him and his relationship to Hardcore, and him and his relation. It's like kind of you got to see like how he has like these friends with all these different people. And I think John Cena, acting wise, is doing his best acting in the show with the dramatic scenes and the like, that stuff. More so than I think he's done in previous stuff. I don't really think. I think it was a lot of good character exploration, but I don't think it's like anything that. I mean, I guess his relationship with Hardcore was probably the more new thing, but other than that, that was kind of other stuff we've seen. I like seeing the dynamics of him. It's like him and Daniela Brooks, or him and Steve Agee, or him and Freddie Stroma, Vigilante, like kind of different relationships he has with like the different members of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think necessarily. I mean, just because you have two, attractive people, man and woman, they don't really have to get together. I don't think that's really necessary there in the show. But yeah, what about you, Sage?
Yeah, I mean, all the character stuff, I think generally was working for me just fine. And I mean, I think that the whole thing is trying to be pretty much entirely focused on that as much as possible. I think the whole idea of Earth X, especially if you like know what that is from the comics or from other adaptations, I think you hear that and you are like, you kind of expect there to be a much more plot heavy, like, series of events and circumstance to play out. But I think it really was just used in like an old school Star Trek way here, and that was kind of the whole point. And that stuff all worked for me, so I feel like for me the season worked as a whole because of it.
Yeah. Was it kind of a little bit of a, not say letdown, but was it a little too expected? Because a lot of people were going like, well, we already knew, it was already speculated Earth X, and then we got Earth X, and kind of like, was it a little bit kind of like, oh, okay, and no real emotion there as far as regards to that reveal, or it was kind of just like, yeah.
It's always nice to be surprised, and I wasn't, certainly, because we were talking about it like after episode 2 at the longest. But I don't think it really took the punch out of it as again as how it related to the characters. If it was just there as like a plot twist to then have kind of a generic like superhero plot, then I think I dislike it more. But it, as just a character reflection thing, it's what I expected and it's what I got, and I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with that.
Yeah. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, I think the twist itself works. It was set up well. There was like enough clues where they were, how they were saying words, and kind of more like the German names, and the fact they didn't know where like Sanford and Sons or the Kardashians were, and just sort of how things were designed and looking, the colors. So I think there, was not Easter eggs. I just feel like they didn't really explore it that well, where it's like, oh, now that they revealed that, we never really find out. So wait, how did the Nazis actually win World War II? And like, what is actually different about this world? And, what are these people that are fighting against this regime? So they're like, they say there's camps where people of color and minorities are, but we never really see them, or like, what is this? It's like, we only get like a little teacup size taste of like oh, okay, of what this world is like. But we don't get like a full scoop of like,
Yeah.
oh, is there an evil Superman? Which I did not want to see, to be fair, but like,
Not
you
again,
know,
not again.
not again, not again. But like, I think it was a good for what the show was doing, and I appreciate it for that. But like, I kind of wish we got a little bit more of like, it was like, so there's the scene where where Judo Master is eating those flaming hot Cheetos, and I'm like, how the heck are flaming hot Cheetos in Nazi Earth if we never had that like one Mexican guy say we should put like like flaming. It's like, oh, like suggested that idea. Because I mean, I guess it's just maybe that's why they're not as good. But they're just like, certain things where it's like, okay, how does that make sense?
Yeah. And a lot with Earth X, it seemed like bulk of it because he goes to this other world there. He has his father, who you have Robert Patrick, who returns there. Then you also have his brother, who now we see him as an adult because in the world, in the regular DC world, we see that his brother died as a young boy. He killed his brother in a fight there. So now he's all grown up in this other world there. And his brother here is played by an actor from The Office. Let me see.
It's Roy. Well, I forgot his real name, but fun fact. So people forget. So James Gunn was married to what's her name who played
Jenna
Pam?
Fisher.
Yeah. So it's kind of ironic that her ex-boyfriend is now on his new show.
Yeah. So yeah, people are pointing that out. Yeah, kind of the irony of that and everything like that. But yeah, he used to be married to some trivia, I guess, about James Gunn. He used to be married to Pam from The Office there. But yeah, so he's so that guy, so he's all grown up. And he's and they're like super famous in this world. Like they're major heroes, their own murals, everything like that. And it's what's revealed about them is that so Robert Patrick in the regular DC world, huge Nazi, huge white supremacist. So in this Nazi world, he's not a Nazi really. He just just goes along with it. He's not really that much of a Nazi. His brother is one, but his dad isn't. What do you think about that? And then the relationship he had with his family in this other kind of world there, Sage?
I mean, I guess I'd say I feel like he still is one. Like this other version of it, like he still is. There's clearly he tolerates a lot, even though he's like, well, I don't like it, but I mean, what are you doing about it? But I think the real kind of hard line difference is just the fact that he has patience and love for his children in any capacity. That's the thing that really makes it different. And I thought that worked, especially because that information came so close to then Vigilante just jumping through the window, not caring and not just going for him. And I thought the fact that like he got this patience and understanding for a moment, just got to feel what that felt like to get that from his parent, and then immediately have it taken away. Like I thought that was really effective.
Yeah. That was kind of a crazy moment there. And then, like you said, yeah, so he's a little bit more understanding, a little bit more compassionate. And then we also get kind of in that scene that Chris seemed to be a huge fuck up in this world, like really bad, like, drinking a lot and doing a lot of drugs and a lot of stuff like that. So,
Which
I mean, he had a lot.
Kind of seemed like regular Peacemaker, like pre-season 1 or beginning of season 1 even.
Yeah. This is the scene right here that we're talking about. I'll play a little bit of it here. Let's see here. Go ahead.
It's just gonna say, if you notice too, when Vigilante busts through the window, and then the other Vigilante jumps through a completely different window instead of just going through the same one. They're like, we got to smash at least 2 of these on our way in.
Nazi?
Don't call me that.
Don't call you a Nazi.
I didn't create the problems in my world, Missy. I don't agree with them. I applaud you if your world is perfect and you fight every injustice you ever see. Is that what you do? Unfortunately, I haven't got the strength for that. I fight the madman murderers and monsters in front of me because that's all I can control. And at the end of my life, when I stand in judgment before God, I hope that he knows that I did the best that I could, and I left this world a better place than when I came.
You get that And then I don't think James Gunn has answered which vigilante it was that killed him. I don't think he's answered that. I mean,
That's a good point.
what do you guys think? Which vigilante it was?
I assumed it was the regular one, just because he would see that person and react that either one of them would see that person and react the same way, which is why it's hard to tell. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But what you think about a lot of stuff there, Austin, with the Earth X and then
I
his
kind of
family?
agree with Stage, where it's like, yeah, it's a bit of a half measure, where it's like, yeah, he was a better dad than Peacemaker's original dad, but the bar wasn't really that high. I think he still is a Nazi. It's like, I think we should have seen something where it's like, maybe he tried to go against the, like, like, where it's like, tried to not stop this or like do something, and it just kind of destroyed him, and he's like, okay, I guess I got to go along with it then. So
well, look how big his house is.
yeah. It's like, it seems like he, obviously benefits how based on the world is. I had a bit of a theory that Peacemaker of this world was gay, and he was gay with Rick Flag Jr., and that's why when you see him in the other world, he was kind of freaked out and weirded out.
He's like, "Oh, don't come to my workplace and expose me," almost.
Yeah. Like, that's why he broke up with the hardcore of that world, and like that's why he was drinking and taking a lot of drugs, just to kind of like, take away the pain of not being able to be who he really was. And that's why he was dressing like much more flamboyant than like the regular, not just like regular, but just like it seems like they were making him towards that, but never answered that. But it was just a shot. But I did like the relationship with his brother and him kind of trying to capture that, and then the kind of irony of like, oh, now his brother seems like he's gonna become his arch villain, which they kind of teased, but never really. Like, I thought the last episode his brother was gonna come back for vengeance, like, or be stuck in our world or something. We're stuck in this Earth.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think Sage, you mentioned that before, that you thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, I did think they would kind of wrap that storyline up just within the season. But I guess what that tells me is probably going to happen is they are setting up Earth. This was Peacemaker's little personal character story that showed you that Earth X exists, and down the line there's going to be something else that is kind of primarily about that, rather than being like a character piece that happens to include it.
Yeah, but that's an interesting theory there, Austin. Maybe you should ask James Gunn that. I mean, he'll respond to basically anybody on Threads. So, you can go on Threads and ask him that question. He'll probably respond to you there. And you had a point there about how this connects to Man of Tomorrow. So this is what James Gunn said there. So somebody asked the same question you did. Somebody said, at James Gunn, can you please clarify as to how that finale gonna set up Man of Tomorrow? Like, I'm generally very confused about this. And then James Gunn, he responded and said, where Chris is at the end, what is happening between the government and the metahumans, Rick and Lex's new partnership, and all of their decisions to do what they did is all a part of the future, Man of Tomorrow, and more. So there you go. So that's what his thing was there. So yeah. So after that, they do that. And you also had a kind of a question of which vigilante came back with them. Was it the vigilante from that Earth X, or was it our regular vigilante? Are you still thinking it's like a different one, or are you still thinking, no, it's the same one? There, I know. Sage. Yeah.
I think James Gunn outright said it is. They went, or the right one went back, and they went to their normal spots. Which I was wondering, though. I mean, especially just because, well, they're so identical, it would be easy to kind of make that sort of twist. But I mean, I think after that episode, not doing anything with it, I think it's definitely just what he said.
Okay. Because that vigilante that stayed back is probably dead, right? I mean, that vigilante's probably dead. Yeah,
could be.
Yeah, because I know. I mean, the police were swarming, and everybody. So I assume he's probably dead.
It sounded like he'd got killed a lot of cops before, though. So I don't know.
It took a lot of people with him. Yeah. So yeah, James
blow that whole house up, honestly.
James Gunn mentioned the future there with Rick Flag, with kind of Argus, all that stuff there. So I know it didn't seem like it seemed like he was gonna try to avoid the whole multiple dimension alternate reality thing, given what's happened with Marvel. Is that kind of the direction he's going, or is it was it just for the purpose of salvation?
I think it's just for the purpose of this one place, which I think they're setting up to be long-term, sort of the kind of Legion of Doom hideout.
Okay, so you think Lex is gonna find some way to get one up over them, use it for his own needs, and then that's going to be like the hideout for Legion. Okay,
That's exactly what I think it's setting up.
It wasn't
Okay.
swampy though. It wasn't swampy.
That's
So,
true, but hey, it's a whole world, you know.
yeah, it's a big. It's. I mean, yeah. We just see like a grass field.
We do. We hopefully we see more of it, and there's a space that has that kind of aesthetic you're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah. So after kind of much of the stuff with Earth X, he comes back there and he watched his dad die again. After he killed his dad in the first season, and then he watched his brother basically almost get killed again. It's kind of just like he's emotionally wrecked and broken. And John Cena, I mean, Austin CK pointed this out. Great acting performance from him. I thought he still proves that he really wants to stretch himself and be known as a serious actor. And I think John Cena does a lot of that. And then after he comes back to the regular dimension there, he puts himself in prison there. He's avoiding the other member of the crew, even after they come and save him from Earth X there. I don't know. Seems like it's, I don't know, kind of their fault a little bit. I mean, they could have just, I mean, they look like, well, he's kind of happier there. That was his choice. But yeah, after they blow up that, they, come back and then he kind of just avoids them. And yeah. With that, do you all think that and then they eventually snap him out of it there, which I think was also another great scene, especially from Daniel Brooks, so Austin CK Adebayo there, because it seems like that is his best friend. Seems like he has the closest relationship with her throughout any of the members there. Well, except for Hardcore, maybe it's from a romantic perspective. But yeah, I thought that was a really good scene, and that was in the final episode and then her really breaking down to him, um, you know, these things aren't your fault. What happened with your dad, wasn't your fault. What happened with Rick Flag Jr. wasn't your fault. Amanda Waller told you to kill him. I thought that was a really great scene. Do you all think that was kind of the best scene in the season there? Austin CK, do you think that was kind of, or do you have a good scene?
Yeah, I feel like as a character and emotional standpoint, and maybe like an emotional climax. Yeah, I think it was a really good scene and a good speech. I think she's giving a good performance. It's a good like intervention where it's like all the characters kind of coming together and kind of being like, hey, you belong, belong with us. Like you're one of us.
Yeah. Like the friends are kind of like his family. Like he's made this family with his friends there. What do you think there, Sage?
Oh, I totally agree. I do think it's probably the best scene in the season. And I think she kills it 2 times in this episode. She also has to have the scene where she breaks it off with her partner, which I thought was pretty strong from her as well. But yeah, I mean, in my mind, it was like the character climax, but also just kind of the climax in general.
Yeah, we didn't see any aliens get killed or anything like that. Well, actually, we did. We saw those little people get squished. We saw that a little bit there. But yeah, and then from that, they joined up together again, and yeah, life seems good. I mean, that Foxy Shazam song is playing. James Gunn, he puts on his Spotify list again, and that song is playing. They decide to join together back again, and then they take Adrian. He has all this drug money, and then they go into his basement, and he's got millions and millions of dollars of all this money from gangsters and drug dealers that he's taken.
And Beanie Babies. Don't forget the Beanie Babies.
And the Beanie Babies there. Does anybody have any kind of before I go talk more about the family? Does anybody have any reason as for why he's so mean to his mom? Like, do you think there's anything behind that, or?
I think there's probably some like uncomfortable. They mention his older brother being abusive, and I'm willing to bet his mom didn't do anything about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think I read somewhere that his brother was going to be in the season or something, but he was cut. So maybe his brother abused him, and so he does the same to his mom, though. So it could be something like that.
Okay. I don't know. I was kind of thinking my whole reasoning was because when he goes to the other dimension, he sees his dad. He's like, "Oh, my dad's not gay in this dimension." So I don't know.
He
Maybe
probably is. Considering everything we learn after that.
I mean, everything is pretty much exactly the same for him in the Earth X as it is for him in the other world. And then so I don't know. Maybe he blames his mom for running his dad off. I guess I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, he has all this drug money. So they take all this money. And then they form Checkmate together. And at first it's the 11th Street Kids, and then Sasha Bordeaux, she comes along. I know Austin CK, you said that didn't really make it feel like she just has a quick change of heart towards the end, at the very end there. Did that make sense for you, Sage, for her to be a part of it?
For me, I think we just didn't get to know her very super well to begin with. So it didn't feel out of character to me because I wasn't necessarily having all that strong a sense of what her character was anyway. Like, so it wasn't like,
Mm.
oh, I don't get why she'd do that, but it wasn't because I like have some grasp on her personality or anything.
Okay. Yeah. And then also we see Tim Meadows' character. He joins the crew there. That one kind of seemed a little iffy given, he's had some, I mean, it seemed like he turned around towards the end of it where he also started seeing all these other Argus agents get killed trying to do these experiments and stuff. So that seemed like he changed his opinion. Did Tim Meadows make more sense to you at all, Austin? Him
Yeah.
going to the Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just all the characters that probably were just abused by these like weird experiments where I'm like, yeah, this was a bad idea, guys. It's like it seemed like it was like, couldn't they have gotten someone else to do these? Why'd you get like, well, I could get maybe hardcore and it's like, oh, we want to give them a job. We'll give them like a shitty job going to these different dimensions that
Yeah. Why not get the creature commandos or something? Get somebody that's in prison or something. And
Wouldn't be surprised if they shove them in Salvation too.
Yeah. So they end up doing that, and then Rick Flag Senior kidnaps Chris, and then that's when he goes and shoves him in this Salvation kind of prison there. But and then also before that, we see that Chris, him and Harcourt are officially together. They finally happy they're together there. And it's a funny scene where you have John Cena dancing. It just, I don't know, something funny about that. That he just and also when you
It's
see
like the
John,
same dance he does at the part, like the bad dance he does at the Suicide Squad like party scene.
oh, I didn't notice that. Okay, it's the same one. Okay. But all that with the finale there, do you think it was a great finale for this season, or would you think it was disappointing, or was it better than season one's? Or
Personally, I like it more. I also, for me, the first season also took a little while for me to really get into it. It was maybe around the halfway point that I really started to like the first season. Whereas this, I was kind of with it the whole time. And I mean, part of I think the disappointment that some people are having, not all of it, but I think some of it is also James Gunn overhyping a little bit, because I see him going online and saying this is the craziest, weirdest, wildest, we put everything in him, and it's like it's a very slow character beat kind of paced thing. And like I said, I like that, but that's not really how he was describing it so I think a lot of people might hear how he described it and been like, oh, this isn't really what that sounds like. I try not to put too much stock into those sorts of statements in the first place. Just take the thing as it comes. But I can see how if people are seeing those comments, they're thinking like, oh, wow, it's going to be like really something wild. I'm like, oh, no, it's just like a kind of slow paced character burden conclusion.
okay. So you like season 2 better than season 1?
Yeah, I like season 2 better than 1.
What about you, Austin?
just like the ending, I guess, or like the finale itself. I think I like the first season because we kind of have the built-up climax. You kind of have all the characters ending. You kind of see kind of their stories. Like you kind of like, oh, you have a man water explodes. The whole butterfly thing is kind of. It feels like the whole thing. It's like this kind of story is finished. This one less so because it's just like they set up checkmate, and I like that. And then he gets kidnapped and thrown into Salvation, and it just kind of leaves on that cliffhanger. And I'm like. So we're going to have to wait like 2 years to find out what happens to him. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like, I had a problem with this. A lot of the CW shows did this a lot where it's like, we're going to have this finale. And in this finale, we're going to have one happy moment. And then we're going to set up the next big villain. We're just going to actually set that up. So there's not actually a happy moment. It's just really, we're setting up the next thing. And I feel like, oh, we're just setting up the next thing. I'm like, oh, okay. I'd rather just like, we have our characters' arcs kind of finished, and then maybe set up the next thing, which I guess they kind of do, where it's like it is a good everyone does get a happy ending except Peacemaker. And I felt like this never really, like all the stuff with Salvation and kind of the stuff in the finale never really connected with anything that happened with the like other with Earth X and the stuff that happened earlier this season. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it just feels like, oh, okay, we're just ending it here. Oh, all right. Now we're just gonna have to wait like 2 years until this gets resolved, and it seems like there's not going to be a season 3, but these characters will still continue. And I don't know. There was a lot of like, he was like, "There's metahumans going out of Arkham and thing." It's like, well, what metahumans? I don't remember. It's like I mean, I know we've just seen like Superman and Creature Commandos, but like, what other villains are really out there that we know of? I know he's like, oh, there's like Batman and stuff in this world, but it's just like, well, we haven't seen any of this stuff, so I don't know what you're referring to. It's, you know what I mean? Or it's like
I totally get what you mean.
Like, I feel like they're trying to have a big cake, but they can't eat it all. Like, you know.
I like that version of the expression. Honestly, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I will say I could be wrong. This could be it could be a completely incorrect prediction, but I think that you won't have to wait a very long time because I think that's what Lanterns is about. I think it's about them investigating all the missing metahumans.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be about like maybe like one of the different cores or whatever. Like one of it would be like, you know, we find out it's actually like a different, like it would set up something like the Black Lanterns or something, or like
I think it could, and that's kind of what I was thinking before. But I'm based on the just trajectory of things, and them keep talking about it as like a detective show. I think it's going to be like working a bunch of missing persons cases.
Oh, I mean that's interesting.
I could be wrong too, though. Could totally be wrong.
My whole thing where it's like, are they metahumans? Some of them, I don't know. DC gets weird with that, where it's like, I guess Superman is, but he's really an alien that's different. Like the Flash, I think is kind of like a good example, where he's like, you know, chemicals and lightning altered his body, so he's a different person. But like, you know, Hot Girl, it's really more like alien tech that gives her powers / maybe magic. It always changes. Sometimes it's alien, sometimes it's magic. Green Lantern is technically. It's just really the Ring, which is like alien technology. Metamorpho, I guess, is like the only real metahuman that I guess I feel like, oh yeah, he's totally a metahuman. But like the other ones, I guess it's just like Mr. Terrific is just like really smart and, you know, has a lot of tech and stuff. So I guess I mean, like Polka Dot Man, that's like another, because it's like, okay, there's another like example, but he's dead. So
and wasn't it just like, was that like he had powers, or was that just like his suit?
no,
it was an interdimensional virus that was giving it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think that this season is better than season 1. I say it's bad. I think it's at its peak. There are moments that are better than season 1. Like I think some of the performances here are better, but I think the overall package just isn't better. And I think the conclusion of season 1 just feels like an actual wrap up to something and just a contained thing to this kind of world of Peacemaker there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I that's the way I kind of feel about it. But this season 2, and then I don't, like you said, James Gunn said that there's probably not going to be a season 3. Well, you know, it's still kind of up in the air.
I think all he means by that is there's going to be the third season of the show is going to be called Checkmate. I think that's all that means. They're totally going to do more. It's just going to start having a different name, but it's going to be a direct continuation.
Okay. Interesting. And then the formation of Checkmate is that could be interesting. I don't like the ending of like they have to go to another dimension and save him again. Like they just did that in this season. So like to do that again and, you know, some more episodes doesn't seem that interesting there.
I bet that's resolved in something else before that season comes out.
Okay. Maybe it's going to be resolved in, well, they have Lanterns, they got Woman of Tomorrow, they got Man of Tomorrow. That's, you know, 2026, 2027. So I don't know when they're planning on doing. Maybe he does like the third season, but it's called Checkmate. Maybe he does that's 2028, maybe, or 2027 late. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be done by then. So yeah, but you know, so I think some of the part at its peak is better. The finale, I don't think is. I'm not disappointed in it. Like maybe some people are. Like you said, maybe it's because James Gunn hyped it up of like, you know, this is going to be so important to the DC universe and Man of Tomorrow, and maybe people were expecting bigger cameos. But you had cameos. You had Hawk Girl, and you had Green Lantern, and you had Lex Luthor. He came in. I mean, what y'all want? I mean, y'all wanted Superman to show up. Y'all wanted, you know, like I didn't really understand that. Some of the Earth X stuff. I think that was only there for more character moments there. I don't think there was a whole lot done with that universe in it. So that kind of just felt like, okay. I mean, that was just kind of thrown in there. It didn't really have to be Earth X. It could have just been some really other dimension, really, it seemed like. So for me, I think this season it's good. I'd give it a kind of a tune in for me. I think the first season I gave like a higher tune in to a lowish peak for me with that one there. But what say you, Austin CK? What are your kind of final thoughts and rating for season 2 Peacemaker?
I think I still like it. I think it's still a good show. I just think it, could be a little better. That's it. I think it's like a tune in. I think people should watch it. It's a solid show. I wouldn't, I know I'm like, oh, I'm playing on it a little down. And I'm like, I think that just happens when you have a little bit of an ending that maybe was overhyped for you. But yeah, I would say tune in. It's a fun show. John Cena, is doing a great I think all the actors, John Cena, Daniela Brooks are having some of the best acting they've done in a while. I think there's, they introduced some really cool comic, ideas and stuff that we'll see play out in future DC stuff. And yeah, I overall did enjoy it. I just, was a little disappointed by how it ended, which, happens in a lot of things. But I don't think it 100% ruins the like full season for me. So I would say give it like a tune in as well.
Okay. What about you, Sage?
I think I'd go with like a very. I'm not going to go all the way to a peak, but I think like a very high tune in. For me, this was I liked it a little more than season 1. But the thing is, like I said, a lot of the things that I see other people not liking, I also get it. Even though that stuff didn't bother me, it's like I do understand. So I think mileage may vary, but I still think it's a pretty strong character piece, and I think that's as far as not to always put them against each other, but as far as like being disappointed with Marvel and hopeful for DC, that sort of character heavy stuff is exactly what I want out of DC. So,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand some criticisms I've seen of it there, with that, of people feeling unsatisfied by it. They didn't like the cake that they ate. They're a little unsatisfied there. So yeah. So tune in from Austin, tune in from Sage, middle of the road kind of tune in for me for this Peacemaker season 2. There, awesome stuff there. I forgot to mention Judo Master. He also shows up there as well. He's a part of the crew. Always in that costume. Always in. He love that suit there.
I want to see more of these actors as dedicated as this actor into always putting the costume on.
Yeah. Well, you got John Cena. He loves showing that, going up to every convention and everything like that. He shows up.
That's true. That's true. But with Judo Master, there was even the scene where they're in the hazmat suits, and you can see he's wearing his costume underneath that. You can still see it poking out of the face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good bit. I like that one. Yeah.
It's him and Carl Urban and Dredd that no one else has committed that hard.
Wow. So yeah, that was our thoughts there. All right. Austin, thank you so much, man.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great talking to you, Austin.
Good talking to you as well. I hope good luck with the Assassin's Creed Shadow DLC review. Sorry, it took me. It's like all those words. I'm like, Assassin's Creed. Which one is it? I'm like, oh, Shadow and there's DLC. Okay.
Yeah. One more time, Austin. Where can people find you? What you got going on? What you got coming up next?
Yeah. Not much going on. Just a couple things. Yeah, you can go check out some new episodes of Carl. Check out my IMDb, Instagram, Letterboxd. Hopefully some new stuff in the future. And thanks for coming on.
Where can people watch Carl the Collector? On a streaming service?
I think it's on PBS. I think it is just free. Like they have an app you could watch episodes in America.
Okay, so just the PBS streaming app. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's free. All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Austin. Take care, man.
All right. Take care. Have a great
Good
one.
night.
Good night.
All right. Very good stuff there. Did you want to do the trailer before you get into this Assassin's Creed, or you want to just roll into Assassin's Creed?
Let's do Assassin's Creed and then hit the trailers last.
Okay.
Why not?
Awesome stuff there. So let's do that. All right, let me pull this up. Yeah. Did you hear what James Gunn? He said that people says like, well, I won't do these obscure characters. Like some characters I won't do in DC because they're too obscure. And then somebody pointed out, like, brother, you did Peacemaker. Like, who the fuck knew about Peacemaker beforehand? And then
what I saw him say was that he's going to have those more obscure characters pop up in shows more. And then have movies be more about the Supermans and Batmans and Wonder Woman types.
Yeah.
But what I read is that it wasn't that he wasn't going to do them. He just was going to kind of divide them a little bit into film and TV.
Okay. Do you think, is there some DC obscure character you'd love to see in a movie that you don't think we ever would see in a movie?
I mean, most of them, if I'm being honest, most of the DC characters. I mean, I'm really happy to start now in recent times seeing more of them. But I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff like Deacon Blackfire I would love to see in a movie that I don't know if they'd go for. Mr. Miracle, they are going to do like an animated thing for him, but that's one I kind of didn't really expect to see ever done. I mean, Booster Gold, I know they've announced a show, although we haven't really heard or too much about it yet. There's a lot of characters that I used to think like, oh yeah, we'll never get that, but I mean, I feel like James Gunn's willing to do basically anybody. It's just about where they fit in.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't. They did Blue Beetle. I didn't expect them to do Blue Beetle, so
Yeah.
they did do that. That's pretty nice. All right. So, Sage is going to give his review of the Assassin's Creed DLC. The Assassin's Creed DLC, the name of that is
It's
Claws
Claws of Awaji.
Claws of Awaji there. So he's already done the review for the main game. People can check that out on youtube.com, the afternoon tune. Just type in Assassin's Creed and you should be able to find that review on the channel there. I forgot, what did you give? Do you remember what you gave Assassin's Creed Shadows?
I believe I either gave it, I think, a low stream it. I think it was a low stream it, and I took a lot of points off specifically because of the game's like technical problems, performance issues. There's that like bug where I had to slowly inch an NPC like across like the entire map for like 2 hours to get it to like a mission to be like trigger properly. So there's a lot of that stuff that made me give it a score so low. But if at the time I did say I think there is a fun game here underneath all these problems, if they could sort these out in updates and DLC, then I think we might have something here.
Yeah. So typical kind of Ubisoft thing, very buggy upon release, all that good stuff. So you had that kind of going on. But Sage, what are your thoughts on this DLC and the update that came with Assassin's Creed Shadow?
Well, like I just said, if you get those performance things out of the way, and they did, so this game it feels a lot better to play, consistent frame rate. I'm not really noticing any major bugs. They did polish it to where, well, what it should have been on release day, but it is there now. So as far as the game's like kind of combat system and engaging with all of its different pieces, its RPG mechanics, all of that works again. This new DLC, it added a couple new weapons. There's like a bow staff. I wouldn't say anything too drastically like overhauling the formula of it, but it works better. It feels better. They added, was definitely noticing if you as you're doing parkour, running around, jumping off and onto the like rooftops, I'm noticing a lot more animations of like different kinds of jumps and body movements. So like that's also something they clearly did post game, is just kind of just expand what the set of just basics that the game was even capable of are. However, unfortunately, I think that even with all of those things, and my score for the game total would raise here, but story-wise, it's still suffering from a lot of the same very just wooden kind of stock character types, very wooden vocal performances. And I might have said this in the review before, but it really feels like they kind of write the game almost in a way where you are supposed to be, or they expect people to be listening to a podcast at the same time they play it. There's a lot of dialogue where characters just kind of very out loud blurt what like and reiterate, this is what I'm doing right now, or I am standing in front of this thing. Like there's a lot of sometimes a kind of AI sounding writing in there. And I don't know that they are. I think they're just really trying to write it in the most basic, like you could barely pay attention to this and still know what's going on sort of approach, which frankly doesn't make for the most interesting story to follow. The way this picks up here, because the initial game story just kind of cut off at a very weird spot and it just went to credits. It was like that there was no ending. So this is kind of what the ending was supposed to be. There's this small island that you go to that's like a new little area, and it kind of involves this character, the assassin, going and basically finding her mother, who was the side of her lineage that actually like brought all this assassin stuff to Japan and to this area and all that. And you'd think like, oh, okay, maybe it's a long forgotten familial connection. Maybe we get some good drama out of that. Maybe kind of spice up the character a little bit. Not really. They kind of just have like the same personality of this very stoic, slightly angry sometimes, but ultimately almost entirely information based like dialogue. So that part of the game it really is just kind of the same thing. But I do think that they do a couple levels. It's not a lot, but there's a couple sequences in this DLC that I did think were cool. The first mission that starts it off is like it becomes like a side scroller in like a this like puppet theater sort of thing. I thought that was cool. It was just different. It was just a different type of thing to be doing in gameplay. I really liked that a lot. And then there was a boss fight um, from one of the assassination targets in the game where you had to it was almost like the sniper battle in Metal Gear Solid 3 just a little bit where you sniper enemy, you have to kind of move your way, actually genuinely be stealthy around this environment. There's traps everywhere, and there was like I felt like that was maybe the time in the entire game, not just the DLC, but the whole thing.
Was it
Oh, sorry.
the Spy Master? Was it that one?
No, it wasn't the Spy Master.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the name of the
Okay.
boss, but it was very much this like perched, moving around. You got to actually be stealthy and sneak up, and the NPCs also moving around to different spots. So that boss just it really felt like, oh, I'm actually having to really try here and put effort in and really look at my surroundings. Whereas I think so much of of Assassin's Creed games nowadays are you kind of if you're playing them you do end up going on autopilot and zoning out just a little bit because you are doing so many of the same things over and over again. But that was like so this DLC does break that up a little bit, and it's not like all the time throughout, but it does try a couple of different ideas that I really appreciated.
Okay. Interesting. And how big is this DLC?
It's not that big. I'd say probably spend 8 hours on it, maybe. So like as its own little thing, like that's not bad. Now you're adding that to say the 65 hours that I had already put into the game. Before that, that's a significant amount of time to add it all together. But it's just as its own little thing. I was not nearly as like, all right, let's get this over with. I was starting to feel that burnout with the initial game by the end, but with this, I didn't feel that way. I was like, still like, you know what, that was good. I'm done with it, but like, I'm not like I feel a little more content walking away from it this time.
Okay. You mentioned some new weapons there. You had some boss fights in it. So this is a more, you think, complete package than what initially released there with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Without a doubt, because now there is an ending to the game. Like
Okay.
there is like a conclusive, even though I don't think the narrative is particularly interesting, it does have a conclusion now, and that was totally missing before. Now this DLC is also free if you bought the game like day one or had like the at least the kind of first shipment of it, maybe first week or so. So the copy that you sent me that's over here that had that. So this wasn't like anything you had to purchase. I don't know if it's included with new copies of the game like right now, but it might be like a $10 DLC. I will say and just if you spent full price on it already, another $10 to get the real ending is a little insulting. But these games also depreciate in value, so I'm willing to bet you can pick up this game on a sale for probably like 30-40 bucks, and then at that point a $10 DLC being added to that, not so bad. But
Uh okay, because I want to know. So they say here, so I'm looking at the DLC, $24.99. Maybe is that just for PC? Maybe. Let
really,
me.
$24.99.
I'm trying to see here exactly
I will
how
do a
much.
search as well because that seems kind of ludicrous.
Uh, I just want to make sure I got the right price there. Hold on, just bear with me for a minute here,
Wow,
people.
no, you are correct.
Okay, so it is okay. I want to know if that was like part of like some
Huh.
type of expansion stuff, or maybe I'm wrong here.
I mean,
Uh,
the whole this whole like ending part of the story does take place in a new environment, so like you do get a new area, in which to engage in this gameplay in, but it's not that big. And like I said, I mean, 8 hours is I mean, some games are only 8 hours, so like it depends on how much you enjoy it, right? Totally, your mileage may vary, sort of thing. But I I don't know, playing it for free, and I thought it was $10. I thought, yeah, seems fair for the price. 25? That seems like too much for what this was.
Yeah. So if you pre-ordered it, you could get it, like you said, you got it for free there if you're able to do that. But I guess if you buy it, yeah, I guess it's $24.99. That seems like quite a bit. That's almost like half of just a
Yeah,
almost half of just a regular game there.
that's
Uh,
yeah, that's kind of a crazy price to me. I definitely don't think as it's as an expansion by itself, it's quite worth that much. I would caution and say if you don't have like the free access to it, I would wait for this to be like 50% off then.
yeah, like when they
Like,
do a bundle sale and they sell this with the DLC
yeah,
and everything like that. Yeah.
yeah, I would recommend waiting. If you're interested, wait until that because it's just a lot for what this is.
Okay. There any negatives with this DLC there besides the price?
I mean, I'd say the story is just ultimately still just not very interesting. Just wooden characters, wooden expository dialogue, just wooden kind of framing, and there's just not a lot of like dynamic. Like the cutscenes aren't very dynamic. It almost looks like when you talk about like the difference between like something that looks like a TV show and then something that really looks like a high end film. And like when you're talking about like dialogue sequences between characters, it really has like like a low budget TV almost look with the way the characters got framed during conversations. Sometimes the fight scenes can look cool, but anytime it's just two characters talking to each other, they stand there with the box over them. I mean, it's like a video game from 20 years ago.
Mm, okay. So what would be your rating for this?
So I believe, like I said, I believe I gave it a low stream up before. I think if you're getting it on sale now, so like let's say $50 for the entire package altogether, I'd say like a low tune in. Uh, that's gonna maybe change depending on how much of a sale that the title is on, but at its like absolute full price still, I still really recommend waiting for it to go on sale. I think like $50 you're getting like a good amount of stuff. But like I said, I always caution like if you're here for like the narrative and the story, I just can't recommend it very heavily. If you're here to put like an earbud in and listen to like a podcast about something and then play the game at the same time, and then I think it's like it sounds like an insult to the game, and it is a little bit, but there is still like genuine fun to be had within its gameplay and exploring its world. It's just not able to pull you through it with a narrative, I don't think.
Mm, okay. Interesting stuff there. Listen to a historic. You got a historical podcast you can recommend people? Maybe pop a
I
AirPod.
mean, Dan Carlin's are amazing. Those are like 4 hour episodes, but
Okay. So listen to a couple of Dan Carlin episodes while you play Assassin's Creed Shadows there. Does he got one about feudal Japan, everything like
he did. I don't know if he probably does. I don't know for sure, but he did do like there's like 3 3 hour episodes that are all about like ancient Mongolia. I learned a lot from that.
Okay, there you go. So a tune in, you said tune in or
Yeah, I give like a low tune in.
okay, low tune in. All right. So low tune in from Sage for the Assassin's Creed DLC Claws of Awaji. There is Awaji a city or a
It's
town?
the name of the island that's like the new location you go to.
Okay. Okay, is that a real island? Awaji?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Nice there. All right. Thank you, Sage.
Yeah.
Very cool there. All right. We got some trailers, and then we're gonna be heading out of here. Kara flies on right now. She's playing Blue Protocol Star Renaissance. I don't know what that is, but that's what she's playing.
I have no
Uh,
idea.
Movie night extravaganzas, they're still on. I think they're closing out their review right now. They were reviewing the Witch. They were reviewing that, the Robert Eggers movie. They're doing a month because it's October, spooky month. They're doing horror films, and they're doing all witch movies. So that's one of the witch movies they're doing. It's not my favorite Robert Eggers movie, but I do like it. There, I think you said your favorite Robert Eggers movie was it The Lighthouse? Maybe
The Northman.
Northman.
I
Okay.
I like that one the most.
Northman.
I think,
yeah.
for me, it would probably go Northman, The Witch, and then I don't know what I'd put third or fourth between Lighthouse and Nosferatu. I think probably Lighthouse and then Nosferatu at last.
Yeah. I think yeah, Lighthouse, Northman. I'm trying to see maybe Nosferatu and then The Witch is last. Maybe. But that. So yeah, they're doing that one. Geek Dom's still on playing that Silent Hill F. He's still doing that. Purple Winetail's playing that Control.
There you go.
I should play that update. I should play that update.
Go get that Hideo Kojima side mission in.
Yeah, I should probably do that. So she's doing that. So yeah, got some good people on doing that. Dante's on playing that Marvel Rivals. You still haven't retouched Marvel Rivals, huh?
No, this is not happening.
Haven't booted it up, huh? Yeah.
I don't foresee it myself going back to it at any point.
Yeah. So some trailers dropped there. There's one for Wonder Man, and there's one for the Game of Thrones spinoff. I think that's the only real big trailers out right now. Yeah, everything else is I, think that was probably it. Like I said, New York Comic Con, they were really nothing there. They kind of just kept all those trailers in house. They didn't release anything. They'll probably release them like, I don't know, next week or a couple weeks from now. They'll probably do that then. Is there any other like showcase Comic Con coming up?
The only other thing left this year that I'm aware of is the Game Awards, but that's not till like December.
Okay, yeah, the Game Awards there. So it's a ways away there. Well, not ways away. It's only like a month away there.
Getting
All right.
close.
All right, so let's check out this trailer, Wonder Man. So we talked about the teaser, me and Neil. So they released the full thing. So this is a new Disney Plus Marvel show there. We don't have an abundance of those, so good they are releasing another one. And you have Yahya Abdul-Mateen there, who plays Simon Williams, who is Wonder Man there. And we talked about the teaser trailer, me and Neil. So it seems like kind of a meta commentary they're doing maybe on these Disney Marvel projects. These superhero.
Look at the superhero fatigue we caused.
Yeah. Somebody, I saw a tweet. Somebody did. They said like Marvel is such a genius. They created superhero fatigue, and then like that's how genius level their marketing is. They create it and then they're doing it. So yeah. So this is the full thing. Let's check it out. People might know Yahya Abdul-Mateen. He was in another superhero project. He was Black Manta in Aquaman. He was the villain in that.
Yeah, and they sent him down the Springfield Gorge like Homer Simpson twice, once in each movie.
Yeah. Does he die in this? I can't remember. Does he die in the second one?
He falls off a cliff, or he falls off an underwater cliff in that one.
Okay, gotcha.
Hits about 10 things on the way down.
So yeah.
And I like this actor too. I feel like he's got great potential. I wish he was got some better stuff to be in, because between those Aquaman movies, him as the very weird version of Morpheus they did, and that fourth Matrix.
Oh yeah.
I just I think he's capable of some really good stuff. I just feel like he keeps getting stuck in these things that are not great.
Yeah, he's good. He's a very good actor. I liked him a lot. In Watchmen, he played Dr. Manhattan.
Yes, yeah, he was fantastic in that.
Yeah, he was great in that. I liked him in Candyman. I thought he was really good in that. He was really good in what was that? That Black Mirror episode. He's pretty good in that. I liked him in that Black Mirror episode. So I think he's really talented guy. All right, let's take a look at this.
When internationally celebrated and reclusive filmmaker Von Kovac sprung out of retirement to sign on for a remake of Wonder Man. Mr. Von Kovac...
and by the way, I didn't know this when I was doing the teaser reaction to this, but somebody said this is AI, so like the posters and all that other stuff, so that's AI they're using for that. So yeah, I didn't know that initially when I was doing the teaser, when I was doing the reaction to it.
I read that they said something like they took photos and then they put those into an AI and was do some sort of layer on top of like the image. So I think it's like partially a photo, but then it's been through like this filter and edited by AI.
Okay.
You tell us more.
Everyone is tired of superheroes. There is an opportunity to reimagine
and that's the dictator guy from Superman.
Yeah,
that's him there. So you got that. So it looks like he's getting some work there. Neil made a point. It should have been maybe Von Verhoeven, maybe Paul Verhoeven, or it should have
that'd
been
be funny.
Werner Herzog, or it should have been maybe one of these guys. Werner Herzog would have been really funny.
That would have been good. Yeah, he's got a great comic timing.
It's an opportunity to reimagine a whole genre of storytelling.
Have you thought about casting?
So, what's this big audition you were talking about?
It's a huge opportunity. I'm auditioning for Wonder Man.
And that's you got Ben Kingsley there.
I can't believe that character is still here. Still on. I truly cannot.
Yeah, I was going to ask your opinion on this character. Yeah, he first showed up in Iron Man 3, and I know you don't like Iron Man 3. You said
I think it's okay. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's very good either.
Yeah, and then he showed back up again in Shang-Chi.
Right.
I don't know why he was in that movie so long, all the way up until to the end of it. I
mean, I really thought, like, after Iron Man 3, my expectation was at someday they might do like a real version of the Mandarin, and there'd be like a opening scene where he's like murdered for impersonating him, and that's all we'd see of this character again. I thought he'd come back, but I thought he would be killed like almost instantly.
Well, you have, right? So he did come back in the true story about the Mandarin when they
yeah. But unfortunately he came back far too much.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Wonder Man? I need to be in this movie.
Sorry, you crazy.
I was born to play this character.
Are you serious? Boo, they are already talking to Leo.
You just gotta go out there and crush it.
What's wrong?
I'm trying to come up with a backstory for the character.
Well, trust the words. Just show up and say them.
That's not my process.
Well, your process can go blow a spider.
I've never heard that before. Is that like I've never heard that blow a spider. I've never heard that one before. There, new expression there.
Huh.
I mean, does a spider have anything to blow? I don't.
I would not know. That's all I'm saying.
Guy's killing it in there, bro.
Where have I seen him before?
Pretty sure he used to be a terrorist.
You can slate whenever
They had to
you're
show
ready.
that too,
Simon
just in
Williams.
case.
Just in case people didn't remember.
Reading for Wonder Man.
Listen to me, Simon. The callback is happening now. Just be normal. Normal, man. The breakdown is go method.
Come in. Mr. Kovac will meet you in the living room.
That seems like a humongous house for a director. I mean,
It does.
I mean,
Wow.
gee, that's like a dictator's house. I mean, that's like maybe that's the house he had in Superman. They just used it.
Von Kovac.
Hello, everyone. I want to explore the place between fiction and non-fiction.
That's tight.
We are going to make the last movie on Earth. No one will have the balls to make another. And action!
Any news from Von Kovac?
There is news you'll be the first to know, unless you call me again, in which case I will never tell you.
There you go. What do you think there, Say?
I mean, I guess at least it does seem different. It doesn't have quite the same color grading, quite the same camera style. It at least seems like they're trying something different format-wise. I don't know how much I trust them to pull something different off, or that it won't kind of just turn into, the same sort of thing once it gets, a few episodes in. But I think there's at least an interesting premise here.
Okay. So it seems like it's not focusing so much on the superhero element of it, because Simon Williams has powers and he's got ability. So he's like a superhero who's an actor. Like, this is main job there.
They even technically had a version of him in the background as like an Easter egg, and I want to say the second Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn put in like fake movie posters of Nathan Fillion as this character, like on the wall at one point. And I mean, they like didn't really focus on him or reference him, just an Easter egg. But I mean, clearly he's been on their minds for a little while. Plus, this character in the comics has a huge role in the creation of Vision and all that stuff.
Okay. So yeah, it seems like it's more focusing just on that element of just a guy getting an acting job. How does he get his powers? Do you know that, Simon Wood?
I don't know. I don't know exactly his origin. I mostly just read Avengers comics where he happens to be part of the cast, but I don't really know him as like a solo character as well.
Okay. Is there already kind of a version of the character where he is black, or he's always been white, or is he
I
supposed to be
think
white?
he's always been white, but I mean, who cares? Like I
Yeah.
mean, if you get a good actor and a good part, doesn't really seem like it should matter.
Yeah. So yeah. So it seems like, I mean, like I say, opportunity to do something different, and more comedic take on it. I guess with Ben Kingsley here, is he kind of like his Carl Weathers kind of here, like in Arrested Development, like he's kind of teaching him about acting, like he's kind of a little bit his mentor here. Is what
That
it looks like.
seems like it. I mean, that character. I mean, he was a total invention of the MCU. So I mean, your guess is as good as mine. That seems to be a good read on what they're doing. But if there's anything else to it, I honestly can't even guess what they would try and take that character to do with him.
Okay. Which could be a funny dynamic. I mean, that could be kind of funny if they do that. Um, So yeah, so it could be kind of funny, but like I said, looks like it's not so much an emphasis on the superhero stuff. It looks like more of an emphasis of you could do some good meta commentary, like I said, about superhero fatigue, about that, about like kind of the whole casting situation. You think they're gonna kind of poke fun or make jokes about people who complain about Marvel casting, or
I think they're definitely going to. That seems like, I mean, it's almost like a slow pause when he says, "Have you thought about casting?" They kind of linger on that for a moment, like he all doesn't know how to answer the question.
Yeah. And yeah, I like this. I like Yahya Abdul Mateen a lot. Like I said, I like the stuff he's been in before. When he shows up, he usually is pretty good there. I think his first like breakout thing was it that Netflix show Get Out, or I forgot the name of that Netflix show. There, a lot of people came from that show, the Get Down, I think it was called.
Okay.
It was like a popular Netflix show. I haven't seen it, but I think he might have been in that. But
The
I'll
first
say
time I remember seeing him was, I think it was Candyman, but was that before or after The Matrix?
Candyman was before, because
Okay.
I think that was before the
Yeah,
Matrix.
so that's the first time I remember seeing him in anything.
Yeah, which I thought he was good in that. So yeah, so that was Wonder Man there. January is when this come out. I like the comment on this video here. Somebody said Hawk Girl dropped the president of Barovia so hard he fell into another universe. Get that?
Put him in the MCU. Get rid of him.
Yeah, can't get rid of his ass. Okay. There you go. Something I forgot to mention during the Peacemaker review there was James Gunn. We talked about a little bit about the politics of kind of his projects there and what he had to say there about Earth X. I know he said with Superman, it was like he's like, well, it's not really commenting on Israel Palestine. Like I'd already done the script beforehand, like before all this stuff existed. But he said, but people are like, well, this conflict's been going for 70 years, and
It's been going for longer than that, even.
yeah.
But I think he's just saying that because he has gotten in trouble on social media before, and he's just like, I'm just gonna answer every question with a nebulous. It's you know like diplomatic answer that tries to not like be specific about anything.
Mm, yeah, just vague posts, kind of, or
I that's what I get. I feel like they're. I don't know. To me, it's very hard to believe that that's not there at all. And I think he's saying that because he doesn't want to put like a spotlight on whatever answer he's giving. He wants it to just speak for itself, maybe.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's move on to this other trailer here. We got another trailer. So this Game of Thrones spinoff here. I'm gonna pull up the trailer for this. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms here. Yeah, that you got going on. All right. And I believe the Knights. So it's focusing on. It's like with the story of the Knight and Egg. I think it I think it is.
Yeah. Which I have not read that book, so I don't really know too much about the details there.
So yes, and this is the third show right here. So it's an adaptation of Tales of Dunk and Egg there. So Dunk is the knight and Egg is the child prince of Targaryen dynasty there, and the squire of Dunk there. So I think they tell a little bit about it in the actual main show.
They do. They definitely bring it up.
Yeah. I forgot, is this the story? Maybe I don't know if you would know or not, with because I think one of them dies in a fire or something, or they both die in a fire, or
That I'm not sure of. Maybe.
okay. Maybe somebody in the comments will know what I'm referencing there. But yeah. So this is the latest one. They continue with the Game of Thrones universe. I know you're not watching House of the Dragon. But people want our thoughts on that. They can do so. I did it with Christina from Cosmopolitics. We did a review for the first 2 seasons. But I like it. I think it's good. And I think people were like, well, who cares about Game of Thrones anymore? The show ended so terribly. But when House of Dragon came out, it was one of the highest rated highest viewed premieres in HBO history. So it looks like people still care about them dragons. People still care about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's once something's a brand, I mean, I don't think it's very hard to make it go away. I mean, for Christ's sake, they've made 3 Tron movies. That tells you just how hard it is to make an established IP actually go away.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think I always have said for a long time, I think the books have a big fall off before the show ever did. So for me, it was always just kind of a matter of time that was going to happen. But yeah, I have not gone back to it, and I don't think I ever will. Any of these spin-offs personally.
Yeah, because I think because at first they announced like a bunch of spin-offs, and then I think they cooled
canceled
down
like 3 or 4 of them because there was going to be a show about Arya being Columbus or whatever,
like a pirate or something.
Yeah, they were going to do a Jon Snow show. That I don't think that's happening anymore.
Is it? I thought I don't know. Maybe is it? I thought they were still doing it. I don't know.
Oh, maybe are they still doing that one? Well, what else is Kit Harington doing?
Yeah, he's not going to come back in the MCU. What the fuck was his character name?
He was supposed to be a character called the Black Knight, which is a cool character in the comics, and there's stuff you could do, but I mean, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's on that wall, that poster of characters in the post credits. Like, bro, you're not coming back.
If he comes back, it'll be in a giant action scene where he, along with 50 other characters no one wants to see, all get killed by Dr. Doom in one like action scene.
All the Eternals just get killed.
I would not be shocked if they did something like that.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at this. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. This is the teaser trailer for it. Let's take a look at it. Get our thoughts on this.
I was squire to Sir Arlen of Pennytree since I was a boy. He charged me to be a good knight, to defend the weak and the innocent, and I swore that I would.
Are you Baelor Targaryen?
Does he sound more Irish? Because normally with the Game of Thrones accent is more like British, isn't it?
That's a super Irish accent, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Then would you move the fuck out of the way?
Sorry.
What's your name?
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms, then?
The good ones. If you could bring me to Ashford, I could swipe you, sir.
Rob me, and I'll hunt you down with dogs.
You don't have dogs!
I'll get some.
Where?
Oh!
Boys, stop gaping. See to my horse.
I'm not a stable boy, my lord.
Not clever enough.
I know I'm just a hedge knight, but sometimes I think there could be more.
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
They are my betters. These men have a name. I'm trading. What chance do I have?
I have no chance.
Kind of looks like Peter Dinklage, no? Like the
bit.
last few seasons of Game of Thrones. That guy.
Yeah.
Falling star brings luck to those who see it.
So the luck is ours alone? fight honorably. But sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man.
And in every man, there are many men. So be brave. Be just. Be tall.
All right. So, Sage, what do you think? This is going to convince you? Get back into Game of Thrones, man?
I don't think so. I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. I don't think this looks bad or anything. For me personally, the my interest in the universe has just been burned so hard that, again, first buy the books first. It wasn't even the show; it was the books that did it. But it would be. I can't even imagine what it would take to get me to come back to it or to make me really interested in this again. It looks fine. I mean, cinematography, effects, costume design, that stuff was always great in Game of Thrones. There's a reason it was as popular as it was, as they put all that effort into putting it together, and it looks like it's got all that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this seems like it would be a miniseries as well, maybe, like, because it's only a novella, so it should just be like one thing. And yeah, even it being a short single season, it does not make me want to watch it. That's how out I am on this universe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be short. It's not supposed to be like that long of a series. It said this first season, I think, will consist of 6 episodes. So I don't know if they'll wrap up it all in these 6 episodes. But yeah, so yeah, it's like you said, it's a novella there. It's typical. Looks like kind of a little bit like Game of Thrones. You see the brutality up there with some of the fights. A more of a lone wolf cub type story. Those are classic type stories there. You see this knight taking care of this young boy, so you have that. So that could be a more heartwarming tale that we have. Exactly, I don't know how it exactly ends there for this, but yeah. So different stories and everything. So that could be more of a lighthearted tale that we've gotten typically from Game of Thrones story that deal in a lot of death, a lot of sexual abuse and stories like that. So that could be something a little change, a little bit something more lighthearted there in the Game of Thrones universe. And this is going to come out January next year. There's when it's going to be coming out. So very early next year. I don't recognize any of these actors really, and I know there's probably a lot of references here in the trailer from different houses and everything like that. Like I don't recognize all that different stuff there. But yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. I mean, like, it's only 6 episodes, could be something decent there for it. And following someone also different from a Targaryen, even though there's like the boy, it seems like it's more focused on the knight rather than the boy. It seems like it's a lot of that there.
That's definitely what I'm getting.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our thoughts on that. All right. Heading out of here. Thank you so much there, Sage. Much appreciated there. Kara Fly's on there. Do you have anybody that's on? I see Geek Dom is still on.
I think that's pretty much it. I think I see on my side, yeah.
Purple Wine Tails. I'll go ahead and rate Purple Wine Tails since she's doing control there. Go ahead and rate her. Future streams. I'll be back Wednesday. Neil doing a retro review for Young Frankenstein there. Friday, hopefully I'll be joined by Dusk, do a review for Roofman and do a review for Black Phone 2. I'll be seeing the other movie because there's quite a bit of other movies dropping. There's Good Fortune, that movie with Keanu Reeves, dropping there. I guess that's like did Supernatural start that, or did another thing start? Well, maybe actually, was it Dogma? As far as angels, they wear trench coats and suits and stuff like that.
Well, where that, at least as far as I'm aware, that came from the kind of Hellblazer comics, where they did an angel character up that fell in a storyline back in like the 80s.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that stuff like that. Yeah, that was just like classic angel fit. Yeah, I guess like trench coat, suit, everything like that. Yeah, and they Keanu Reeves said they're still doing Constantine 2. They're still.
I think. Are they doing it? Is it just that he wants them to still do it?
No, I think he said they're writing it.
Okay.
like early stages, everything like that.
I'd be curious to see it. I mean, I don't think that movie, the first one, is a very good adaptation of that character, but I think it's like as its own movie. I think it is a cool movie.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's more ambitious than earlier 2000 superhero movies, I'd
Oh,
say,
for
and just
sure.
to get a Constantine movie, period, was kind of cool to get one, period. So yeah, so there's that one. There's After the Hunt. Io Debris starring in this. I'll watch that during the weekend and do the review that the following Friday. No stream. Well, actually, I'll do Saturday. I'll do a stream with Chris. We'll do Marvel Zombies. Do a review. That's pretty. Only like 4 episodes.
Okay.
Review for that. Then Monday, hopefully you can join me again. Would you? Yeah, maybe do Silent Hill F.
I think I for sure will have it ready then.
Silent Hill F. Do that. Just try to watch some of this anime there. Try to maybe do a review for that there. But yeah.
There's a
So
whole other wave coming already. So
yeah. Good stuff there. All right. Yeah, I'll send you over to Purple Wine Tail there. One more time, Sage, let people know what I can find you got going on, what you got coming up next, all that good stuff.
yeah, you can find me over Rated M for Immaturity on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, on all that exact same name. Streams Tuesdays, that's 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's typically our one a week. We'll hopefully be getting the other stuff up back soon. But also my book is coming out on Wednesday. Me and my co-author, who is one of my co-hosts as well, we put this together over some time, and the digital physical on sale, all editions, basically at midnight on Tuesday.
Awesome there. Look out for that. All right there. Yeah, she's playing. I think she's playing that update there. They added that Hideo Kojima mission there. With that. So very awesome. All right, people. Stay tuned. Out of here.